Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dreamboat, joined by GL Phoenix and Cyberwaste with Pinky MacGyver on production. We are here, of course, from AAOL Esports for the Amateur Australian Overwatch League. We got SUCC, we got bottom 500s. So hopefully these teams don't suck and we have a heck of a game for us here.
You had to start off with a good one, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. We've got the new map pool for this, I guess, stage of the competition, and we will be starting out on Ilios, then going to Gibraltar and finishing off with Horizon Lunar Colony. And Cyber, this week we have Hammond.
Yay, the hamster ball, ready to cause a ruckus. He is on the table. And we've seen briefly in competitive Overwatch after he's been released for around 3 weeks, a month, give or take, and I'm still looking forward to how he'll pan out in terms of a hero. It's hard to tell where he sits, and I'm looking forward to see where he finally finds his place in the meta and in the lineups. But the gates are about to drop, and we're about to kick it off on Ilios.
Yes, while he is available, we appear to be, unfortunately, for the start here, Hammondless. We do have them just starting to engage a little bit. See if they can't build up anything. There's a Widow actually on Duff Champion. He's gonna get over there, try and get in on a wish but that's the Tracer right up in his face. He's in a lot of trouble. Will be grappling away. They're still being hounded down here. This has been a long engagement between these two players, but no one has actually died from either of these teams yet. They're brawling it out, but no kills coming in Phoenix.
Yeah, they do finally go on onto Shifty Risty, stepping a little bit too far forward. The rest of the team was not there, but does get the trade right back down. Look at the resurrection immediately, so they will have to get them back in time as a great Earthshatter sets up the rest of this fight, and it looks like the blue team SUCC is going to get the first sniff at the point here.
The bottom 500 started out on top. They got a little bit of percentage, but the SUCC machine decided to get going and has already accrued percentage. There's already the Valkyrie on deck for Pocket, so going to be a little bit tougher for the defense to be broken when they have a good support spreading the wings and flying about.
Yeah, they appeared there at the beginning to switch from SUCC to blow as they blew away their opposition. We are going to see if we can get some kind of a response coming in here from bottom 500. And that's going to be a Dragon Blade on Meme, getting right up in their faces. Healing will come out from the Lucio though to keep the boys alive, but it's not seeming to matter. Wishlight and Sneaky Snake finding a couple kills. Meme getting a pair of them right there. And that will be almost a team kill as soon as they kill HDN. There it is. Tough spawns though. Oh no, we got the bell. I thought we were going to be deprived.
Sound the bell.
Yeah, that was just a really strong fight. A very dive-centric composition that we do have out of the bottom 500s. It's very hard to deal with. It's very hard to get set up as a Widowmaker. Duff Champion having a bit of a rough time, but they still want to play this style, wanting to utilize those long sight lines, try and pick apart some of those weaker members, and then get the fights to go from there. But so far, it's very hard to set their feet at this point, Starbuck.
Dude, especially with Pocket taken out of the picture, thanks to Beam and his sharp blade, that's going to be enough of that. The Genji on the other side, Smooth Buzz is unsheathed, his blade did get the feed as well. So a little bit of an even fight, well, not so much anymore with me getting the better of the counterpart Smooth Buzz. So the side of the bottom 500s are on top for the time being, and they are nearing the point of doubling the percentage accrued for SUCC, and well, they're gonna have to suck it up and get to it, or they're gonna be running out of time. As this Dragon Blade gets unsheathed by me, but it's cutting edge.
Looking around, seeing if they can't find a few more kills in this one. Mad Knight's done well to chime back with 3 of his own, doing a lot of work for his team. These kills are coming down. Still one player on the point trying to delay anything from being picked up, as it is just the Rhine in there. And he's going to be cleaned up by the Zenyatta, so Nedry doing good work there. He's going to do a lot of time, 94%, and now the spawns are coming back here. They might be able to just kind of force them off of this entirely. They're coming close, Phoenix.
Yeah, they're trying to get back in time, but the red team is not there in quickly enough. and the superior numbers of SUCC was just a little bit too much to deal with, but they still need to be able to get onto the point. It's still in favor of the bottom 500s. Here comes the Graviton, and this should clean up the rest of the bottom 500s to try and get them more time on the point themselves. The blade does get unsheathed as they try and slice their way through SUCC, and it looks like after it seemed as though the bottom 500 were going to end up losing that fight, they end up clutching it out.
That's what Chief effectively said. Get the hell off of my point, and that's exactly what he did. He used the Primal Rage and actually knocked the Reinhardt of the Mad Knight off and into the blue wide yonder. So we can basically thank him for getting that point for the bottom 500. So we move on to the next point of call, which is the well. And Dreamy, what do you foresee in our future? Lots of knocks in the pit or no?
Well.
Stare into my crystal ball. No, you know, it was a little bit unfortunate there that they got booped around and booped off the point by the Winston, and unfortunately with a giant pit in the middle and a couple Pharahs, I think we are not done with the booping. Again, there are a couple of Aristas as well, dragging people on, or good Roadhog hook. There's gonna be a lot of people going down this pit, I think. Seems like it's gonna be that way though in this opening fight. They're shooting their shots around, because you know you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so you may as well fire them in there. As Wishlay's got the kill on to Duff Champion. That's the Widowmaker down. It's a nice pick, Phoenix.
Yeah, it's a good start to the fight. The Resurrection does get used to bring Duff Champion back into the fight, but the position is already being set. 500, but a nice kill from Smooth Buns onto Wish. So they do have the aerial superiority over to the side of SUCC, and now they are going to start making their way towards the point, or into the face of the bottom 500. As the Mad Knight on the Roadhog is going to start running them down. Here comes the whole hog, going to start bursting through that Diva mech, as the defense matrix was not nearly enough to keep them going, as we do have people dropping down the well, and this should be the first point secured, or first percentage secured by SUCC.
And got sucked into the pit for his troubles. Thank you, HGDN.
He didn't get sucked into the pit. He got blown into it. You get sucked in if you get a Risset. Okay, fine.
Fair call.
Semantics.
I'll give you that one. Cyber Waste.
The Ifra side does go out, so that's going to make things a lot more difficult, especially with Whistler being taken out of the fight, and Meme also hit the deck. So Duff Champion is saying, your team can't breathe! Oh dear! And HDN is getting right in amongst the Diva of Sneaky Shake and gets knocked again, and that is the boot count of 2. I'm actually going to try to keep a track of that for the foreseeable future. This could be the best chance for the bottom 500 to actually get into it, but not with the Smooth Buns getting a good barrage onto the opposition. So they're gonna have to delay for a little bit longer, and they just tick past 60% onto the side of SUCC.
Well, and Duff's gonna clean up the Diva there, and man, I will say, you know, while we have a little bit of a holdback coming in, I don't know if you managed to see that new Diva short. That adds a lot more, like, I love what they've done with them. It adds so much more depth to Diva as a character. It's like, this is a character, like, dealing with PTSD and, like, stardom. That's sad, man. And speaking of sad, the res has to be forced to Smooth Buns. Gets picked off. No res here in this fight. It's going to be big as we have the Bongo going down and the Coalescence coming in. They're trying to get through onto this point. But a great job by String Bean and Bad Knight pulling them down. And oh, there goes another kill coming in. Oh my lord, it's a complete mulching. Everyone has fallen. It is just a Mercy on point. And that's not what you want to be in this situation. All alone, Phoenix.
Yeah, they have nothing left in the tank. Just a really solid defensive hold there on the side of SUCC. And it was damn near impossible for the bottom 500s to really make their way towards that point unscathed. We just had long sight lines being covered by both the Pharah and the Skies, and also the Widow getting a really good position. And speaking of Widow and really good sight lines, now into round 3, and it is going to be on the Ruins here, Cyber.
Indeed, and if you're a Widow main and Ruins actually comes up in the pool, you are licking your chops. This is a Widow's playground, and we will definitely see a duel on deck between Duff Champion and Whistler and Dreamboat, who will become the champion of the Widows in this opening break.
Whistler.
You just flip the coin?
I remember looking at their profiles and seeing that Whistler has a slightly higher career rank. Meaning, knowing that means absolutely nothing, that means he's gonna win this fight. He seems to be losing it right now. He took the more damage in that engagement than Duff Champion. They're looking around, seeing if they can find anybody, and Whistler will win it, because I'm always right.
The nerve of this guy. I can't believe it. Duff Champion does get brought back into the fight, though, and the point will unlock. And String Beater and the Mad Knight are pushing everybody back, and Smooth Buns isn't there to assist. So, I guess that, well, that put you into your place, Dreamboat, because his team got entirely trounced and sounded the bell, and then we'll get the first percentage. So, Duff Champion is my champion. Sorry, bud, these are facts.
Yikes.
Oops. Duff Champion takes himself out thanks to the help of the Genji meme.
What a meme. Yeah.
Gets a bit. Here comes the Earthshatter, sets several people on the ground, and here's a lot of investment when it comes to ultimates. No one going down just yet, despite how much has been invested. Shifty Whiskey is going to be the first casualty of this fight, and it looks like Pocket's going to be the return kill. Both Mercies are going to be down in this fight, and it looks like it's going to be SUCC getting the better of it over the grand scheme of it, as Duff Champion does take down Whistler yet again. Really nicely done there for the Widow player, but the rest of the team is going to be able to take control of
That died! He charged himself off of the entire point into the light blue yonder. So that was a bit of a misplay from him, but it won't really matter. The attack of the bottom 500s was held off for the time being. So that will give the Mad Knight time to get back into the fight. We'll have another Earthshatter on deck very, very shortly. So that will be put into use. Bottom 500 are running out of time though, Dreamboat.
Clock is ticking, and Mad Knight getting a nice opening pick, and Smooth Buns cleaning up. And, well, you're not going to get a chance to even come remotely back into this fight, because you are all dead.
Smooth Buns just maxing the competition. Let's say that.
Yes. At least they were able to die in a rather efficient manner. That's probably the best thing you can say about a situation like that. So they do have at least one opportunity to make their way onto the point, but they need to actually get there, but they don't do it, and they had the opportunity to get there, but they don't, and SUCC are just going to quite calmly walk away with the win there.
It's an easy clap on that one. I mean, it's always tough, you know. I hate saying, like, what are you doing? I hate calling out teams, but, like, you had the opportunity to get someone on point there. That wasn't, like, there was an easy chance for someone to get on point there. Someone was right there to get on point. So what do you need to do? What word have I said like a million times on that? Get on the point, man! Like,
if Jack Etienne, the owner of Cloud9 and the London Spitfire, was watching, he'd be wiping the board clean. That's exactly what it was. That was a letter number moment, which is unfortunate for the bottom 500s. There was the proper rage pop to try to close the gap quicker, but that didn't end up coming to fruition. So SUCC blow away the competition on Ilios. So that will be
this whole series, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm going to beat that one reference into the ground until everybody's sick of it. I'll be like most popular YouTubers. I'll be good for like 2 months and then insufferable afterwards. We'll go to Watchpoint Gibraltar on the next map, and yay! It's actually one of my favorite maps for the payload mode, especially the second point. It is one of the hardest to crack if the defense gets stuck in Dreamboat.
yeah, I mean, it's a map, that's for sure. I have a love-hate with it. You love all the tales of my very low tier gameplay, don't you? Yeah, no, it's like it can be really difficult to get through that second point. I mean, you'll do well sometimes. Well, you feel like you're doing a good job, like you stonewall them at second, and then you'll just see them and they push like straight through, no problem. Or like, you know what I mean? Like there's some times where you feel like you've done good enough, like holding them like 3/4 of the way through third, and then you just can't get through second at all. Like there are just times where you get stonewalled on this map and it feels like you shouldn't. You can't really figure out why it's happening. You just perpetually shut down, and that's just kind of the nature of Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, it can get a little bit rough to push past certain points, and if a Widow is able to get set up, there's a lot of long sight lines to which they can get a lot of value. We saw in the previous map where Duff Champion on the Widow was really dictating the pace of a lot of those engagements, and if we can see that here on Gibraltar, we could very well see SUCC walk away with the 2 map wins here.
They will be hoping for that, that's for sure. And Dove Champion yet again wanting to put the Widow to the test and wanting to keep the opposition at an arm's reach. Bottom 500 will be on the attack first, and Whistler yet again still wanting to go into the duels. I guess they really want the banter for the casters that are cheering for each respectable member, and then we just have the neutral party, or not. Who knows?
Well, we've got a start point coming through here just in a little bit, but I'm looking at these comps. I'm seeing no real surprises at all, really. Well, maybe the Reaper. That might be a touch surprising.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that stands out from both of these compositions that we're looking at so far. The Reaper is. I'm interested to see how they're going to try and utilize this. Probably potentially dropping down while they're going through the car wash, trying to just close the gap and make the most of those shorter engagement areas, and potentially punishing a tank heavy composition. But it's just a dive combo coming out from the bottom 500, utilizing the Widow to really get some space to do so. But a great charge right off the bat. They do manage to do a lot of damage to the D.Va, but it doesn't get the D-Mech, so they are going to be able to back themselves away, heal them back up, and try and punish some of these overextended members here, Cyber.
He got it, yes! Me will actually get the claw onto Mad Knight that was forced to resurrect out of pocket. And String Bean has been ejected. Whistler will actually get the upper hand onto Duff Champion, and the feed. Oh goodness. Whistler is angry and really wanting to get the payload moving and basically evac the entire team. That is enough of that. This payload will move way past the touch car wash, get right into the ditch, and could actually get around the bend before the other team of SUCC is actually
protect the payload.
They're about to move in now.
They're seeing if Whistler can find an opening, and that's a lovely one there onto the Mercy player. And his pocket going down. Whistler can continue to have an impact here. It's actually going to be Mean taking up the other support. And this should be the ability to roll through. Whistler finding a few more kills. His rival Widow picking off the Reaper as well. And cleaning up the Reinhardt to add the cherry on top. And the D.Va. Okay, why not, Whistler? Have yourself a day. That was a nice little spree there. Just completely opening up the point for his team.
They're doing so much work, and now they're looking to stagger some of these kills. They do get another one onto pocket before the rest of the team can really get set up. Another one onto the smooth buns as well. So really nice aggressive play coming out from the bottom 500s. Duff Champion trying to get set up on the shuttle, but gets cleaned up by Shifty Wristy. And the defense, they try to set up a forward position, but Cyber, they just got picked apart.
Torn apart, destroyed, and got very spread out. And Whistler, you mentioned it yourself, Dreamboat, he is having himself a night, and he's wishing it will continue, and he's got an engagement with the and he will be assisted and Meat will cut him in half. They're just going to keep on rolling, Dreamboat.
Yeah, they are just sliding their way in there, calling it nice and easy. 2 support players left alive. Pocky can't even get that res off. This Transcendence is going to be cleaned up, and that's... Well, I mean, we talked about how you can stonewall the team on second. That is how not to do it. No second defense even really coming in at all. And now they're still getting forward here, trying to pick some players off. Pocket's going to be cleaned up once again. That is so many early picks onto the Mercy, and that's really not a recipe for success.
Yeah, and just getting hit with those unfortunate Gibraltar spawns end up in a very, very poor situation. Not able to get out of that and get picked off yet again, but Pocket is now back into the fight. They're going for a very forward defense. Managed to pick up Nadrai and also Zafine, so both of the supports for the bottom 500s are out of the fight, but they do manage to get a kill in return. But throughout all of this, the pellet has been stalled out, and it looks like they're going to be able to at least force them away for the time being here. So.
And it's not in a bad spot either. It's not far enough to call it a really close defense that needs to be required. You can keep them at an arm's reach. But, oh goodness, the bottom 500s are really letting it go. Pocket's been taken out of the fight. Another support's hit the deck thanks to Beam's Dragon Blade, and Sneaky Snake has gotten the better of the Diva counterpart as well as the Winston. They've replied, and it replied swiftly, Dreamboat.
Yeah, I mean, one of the real problems that needs to be rectified here for this defense is how quickly Pocket is being picked off. You never want to be down a key healer that early. Speaking of the picks, though, the Mercy going down for the offense this time is a refreshing change to this pace. They're looking for a few more kills to come in there, but Sneaky Snake's going to grab 2 of them with that Diva Bomb. Finding a few more here. Pocket in a lot of trouble, though, being condensed upon. Will go down again to Wishla. Feels bad for Fox. It's being shredded by Wishla, but they're still grinding out on this point. Spawners are coming in here, so it looks like they will be able to slow this down somewhat unless they aren't finding these kills. And again, this offense is still finding all the kills that they need. Spawns are coming back in. They need to find a few more a little bit quicker. But again, they've cleaned up the Sombra. They're looking for some more. They should be able to clean these ones up, Phoenix. This is such a chaotic fight, but it looks like the offense will push through.
Yeah, the Blade just to clean up a lot of those trailing kills, and in the end they are going to be able to push all the way through. It was a very staggered defense coming out from SUCC, and it just wasn't enough for them to hold on. Just very good team play coming out from the bottom 500s, and I think one of the biggest things about that final push was Nadrai on the Zenyatta managing to get the Transcendence out just as the EMP was about to be let rip, so it doesn't get completely demolished by that engagement, able to keep the team alive throughout the EMP's duration, and that was really what set them up for the rest of that whole push.
That's true. And another thing of note, I know we hate to pick on players, but poor Pocket had a really rough time on that entire defense. It was basically singled out and collapsed on. Like almost every single engagement, he was taken out of the fight early on. And that is a crucial piece to lose on a defense. You lose a Resurrection, you lose the potential Valkyrie, and that will leave your healer in arms, who would be whoever that may be, to do a lot of the heavy lifting, and they just can't do it on their own. They need their Mercy there, and once that piece is lost, it's only going to get harder for the defense from then on out.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can find kind of a set weakness, and not even so much, like, I feel like part of it's not even a personnel problem on that one, like, but it was a weakness. They found that they could exploit that problem. They could consistently find those picks, and I mean, anytime you see a weakness like that and you can exploit it, you keep doing it until it stops working. And it never really seemed to stop. I mean, they tried different approaches to try and keep Pocket alive. Didn't really matter. They always found a way to get that pick, and they got it early. That removed a lot of damage with a damage boost, as well as a lot of healing from the defense. And when you don't have either of those on the field, you're in a rough shape. See if they can keep it going on offense, though, keeping him alive this time, Phoenix. Let's see as we get into this first engagement.
Yeah, they're going to have to try, but right off the bat, the dive goes straight in, and Pocket is going to be the first one removed from this fight. We were just talking about how much of a rough time they've been having, and as you mentioned again, it looks like the bottom 500s, they have recognized that potential weak point for this SUCC lineup, and they are just poking and prodding at that, and it's really looking to be a massive problem coming through in this game.
If they kept it at arm's reach, Dump Champion's had enough and has gone to the Widowmaker to start the duel once more. And Wishler's actually taken out String B to force Pocket on the Resurrection. Dump Champion just getting sat upon by the Winston on the side of bottom 500s. He will end up paying for it. Smooth Buns will get the frag onto him, and this payload will be under a little bit of contention. Mad Knight ends up going down to Sneaky Snake, and Meme will eject String Beam. This defense will hold strong, and there goes the Dragon Blade. And Whistler was there to assist, cuts the healer down in half. Up champion hit the deck. Meme is spicy indeed. Both of the healers and a big damage dealer taken off of the table in dominating fashion. The payload's in a very awkward spot. And SUCC, oh dear, you are having a bit of a rough time. And they will have to go back to the drawing board and try to figure something out quick.
That was a pretty dank Dragon Blade by Meme there, just getting a nice 5k. Could have had the 6, but Wishla hit a nice shot there on Widow to remove the 6th player. But regardless, beautifully done, and now we need to see some form of a response coming in here. There is the Dragon Blade on Smooth Buns. Already lost a couple players as Duff and Mad Knight and now Smooth himself have all gone down. This defense, they're not giving a single opening, and they're condensing so hard.
Yeah, and it's very... Oh, almost able to get them on the retreat, but they do manage to back themselves away. But yeah, it's just been a very solid defense here from the bottom 500s. After not the strongest of showings on the first map on Helios, a few mistakes here and there which really cost them. Right here on Gibraltar, they are really stamping their authority as Smooth Buns is trying to come in with the blade for himself. Manages to pick up the dry, so they do have a few kills to their name for this engagement. And they're trying to get even more out of it. The Fiend is going to be the next one to go down. The Mech Explosion does try to create some more space. There is a return kill, so maybe he's getting his name on the board for this fight at least. And he's going to try and clean up the rest of it, but he gets swept away. But they're finally able to get something to stick.
It's like, oh, it took them long enough at HDN used the sound barrier to buy them enough space, but Whistler, having another day will put 2 members out of the misery. Smooth Buns and poor Pocket taken off of the table again, and Sneaky Snake will take out String Bean. And it looked like a ray of hope, but Whistler will say, no shooting star for you, I will take it away from you. And still keeping the opposition of SUCC at arm's reach. We're running into 30 seconds, and the side of SUCC have barely anything to show for it. It's basically go in or bust.
Oh man, they are gonna get a couple on the cart right now, starting to inch it forward, but Meme has picked off Duff Champion. He's looking for some more kills. Will they be found? Diva Mech will come in. Both of them actually going out there. The first one finds nothing, second one finds nothing as well. However, now Dry has gone down. He will be rezzed up. Duff Champion picks off Wishla. The offense has some ground. They're looking for some more kills. They're starting to find some of these limbs. Meme, though, is going to pick up Pocket once again. Dragon Blade is coming out, looking for anything. They need something in this fight. And it's going to be String Bean actually finding a few huge kills right there. Make that a third one, demeching the Diva. And it looks like the offense will roll this cart forward.
Yeah, finally able to get something to stick. It was a bit of an iffy situation. They have been able to get it finally to this first point in overtime. They do have a couple of extra minutes to work with, but over that took a lot more time than what they were doing.
And the Dry did get taken out, but got brought back into the fight. The side of SUCC is moving extremely far forward to try to force the defense to play a little bit on it. What happened? Duff Champion did get brought back into the fight, and HDN did try to throw out the sound barrier, but got cut in half before he could hit the floor. So the only thing that dropped was his lifeless body. Mad Knight does get one reply on Whistler, the heavy damage dealer, so that's a little consolation, but it might not be enough. Despite this progress being made onto the card, it might not be enough, but they are engaging under the shuttle, which is a potential point of advancement if everything plays out right for the attack.
They are still grinding this one down and actually inching this offense backwards. Another Diva Bomb's coming in. It will find Wishla. So that is a big opener. Wishla's done a lot of work on that Widowmaker thus far. The seemingly being countered. Stinky takes in a chime back in with the kill. Will be demeched though. So it's a little bit of a rough spot right now as the Valkyrie comes out. Seeing where they can find these kills. Seeing what can be the next pick. It will be Smooth Buns going down. Wishla back up. Picks up Pocket. He has had his number for days this game. And Wishla getting Duff Champion too. Widow coming back has been the difference maker in this fight, as they will slow it down. And before I hand off to you, Phoenix, one thing I wanted to mention is, you know, before they got that last successful push to get them to the first point, there was almost a huge misplay for the fact that they kind of dove Wishla and then kind of fell back off of him. And then Wishla chimed in with 3 or 4 kills. They need to do a better job of just getting right on top of Wishla, not giving him these options, and at least confirming the kill. And they're going to see that now coming in, Phoenix.
Yeah, they have to try and get onto that backline. They have a dive composition. They need to be making the most of it. Midbuns is going to be the first victim of this fight. That is going to slow us down just a little bit longer. Wishler does get taken down, so that's a big kill for the start of it. As you mentioned, gaining a lot more space on themselves with that Widow not in the fight and picking targets left and right. And Mad Knight, he is just slamming his way through this fight. He's going to be throwing hands left and right with that Primal Rage. He's going to get taken down by one mech explosion, and we're into overtime yet again. And it looks like Sneaky Snake is going to be doing a lot of work on the div. It does have it healing coming in from the Mercy, and it could very well be enough, as they are just going to clean up the rest of that fight. And the bottom 500s, Cyber, they come in onto Gibraltar and just clean house.
The bottom to the top. That's exactly how it goes. It is Meme on the Genji, who would be my standout along with Wishlet. This tandem was completely unopposed on Gibraltar, in my humble opinion. They both went absolutely off kilter and took out poor Pocket and Spawn. You do not like that at all if you are on the attack, and bottom 500s was just outclassing the opposition in terms of damage output, and it clearly showed there, Dreamboat.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's so rough when you have a Widow that's being pretty much uncontested. And the problem, again, kind of arose back in that fight. They got right in on the Widow. They actually managed to find the opening pick on her right at the beginning of that fight. So that doesn't really matter, because when the Widow comes back, you need to do it again. Whether that be via res or via spawn. And the second time, he was always uncontested. So sure, you know, you might get Wish at the beginning of that fight, like they did have with the Winston diving on him. But he just had free reign as soon as he spawned or was rezzed, and it was just an absolute farming for him there.
Yeah, it's a little bit too strong, a little bit too free in a lot of those situations. But now we're into map 3. We are tied at 1 apiece. And we're on to Horizon Lunar Colony. Cyber, how are you expecting this one to go? Because the first map, Ilios, went over to SUCC. Second one was a much more convincing affair, but in favor of the bottom 500s. What are we expecting coming to this one?
It's going to be really interesting, especially with the recently reworked first and second points of attack. There's not as much low ground to be able to be used for defense, so they're going to have to play above for the most part. We'll see Smooth Buns on the Sombra, which it's becoming a much more of a mainstay now. So it'll be pretty much a linchpin for most of this defense, because it will cut out a lot of the abilities that the attack will find useful. And Smooth Bun's actually moving way towards the spawn gates, probably being the call out, essentially being a UAV of sorts, because he's got a translocator in one of the spare rooms and is just watching the gates to call out a composition. That's exactly what he'll do. If he could get the hack onto the Mercy of Zafir, this could be huge.
Yeah, this is very good, just scouting, getting as much information as possible. And that does allow Dove Champion to pick 2 right off the bat. This is going to stunt this attack before it can even really start. And someone can keep on doing that, just keep calling out when this attack is going to be coming through, and potentially chime in with a little bit of damage herself, and make it really hard for this offense to really get set up at any point.
Causing a nuisance is the name of the game. Seeing if you can't slow it down, buy you time, and grind them down, and we'll be able to get through, and we should see the first actual engagement coming in here, closer to the point. And Wishlight's going to win that opening duel with the Widow. Rez is coming in. Can he find the next one? Smooth Buns will pick up the drive, so that is the Zenyatta down. They're looking for a few more kills in this engagement. String Bean is going to pick off Shifty Risty, and it looks like the offense has been stunted. There's a player on the point right now, though, and that's Genji. That's a Meme. Wish was going to find the kill onto the Widowmaker, and Meme is still alive here. So he's brought this back for his team, brought a big opening, and now there's players looking in 3 different directions, while threats are coming from everywhere. Meme's still alive, picking a pocket. Shifty Risty's grabbed the pair now, too, and what looked like an overfight will, in fact, be a cap out here. Wow.
That's what overextension will do. If everybody's too far apart, the defense will be collapsed upon. That'll be the end of that. And Duff Champion gets stretched out too, which will put a slug right into her mouth, and then Pocket will have to use the res to put Duff Champion back in her place and put the Widow's Kiss back into commission. But he's already been engaged upon, and which will drop Smooth Buns. So no more trouble for you for the time being.
Heroes never die.
Really nice turnaround shot, cleaning up the Sombra as soon as she came up. The show does come out, doesn't really get too much out of it, but now this is with these extra kills, they are going to start making their way towards the point. The explosion is going to get dropped, but doesn't really get anything out of it. But throughout all, but Wishler is going to be able to pick up an extra couple of kills. They do have members on the point, so they have already 1 tick. Mad Knight is going to charge his way, but with no one else around to help him, they are just going to get completely torn apart, piece by piece. Now, with the MP comes through, but the sentence was already there, and with how the fight was already so much in favor of the bottom 500s, just going to cleanly take that point B there, Brimbo.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing in that fight is what makes this point on Horizon so absolutely brutal. With the spawns being close, yeah, that's good and all, but the sightline's still long enough that basically when you start staggering those kills in the fight as they start to come back up, you have people funneling in through choke points right into Wishless Scope, and he wasn't missing. It's so hard to get in when you're playing a good Widow player on offense on that point, because, like, as a defender, you're trying to walk out spawn, oh, I'm dead. Walk out spawn, oh, I'm dead again. Oh, wait, what's that, a third time? Oh, I'm still dead. Well, great, how do I really stop this point? You can't, because Wishla hit everything, and if he didn't get the kill, Meme was there, Sneaky Snake, the Dry, Shifty, they were all cleaning up the rest of these players, and that meant that, like, basically no one could get on point, and if they did, they were already, like, 3/4 health done, cleaned up nice and easy. It's just so brutal when you're playing against that, trying to get back out, and because of that, 524 is a godly time from bottom 500s.
Time you could really only dream of, especially when they just snowball the entire defense like that. Like you said, Wishler was either dinking players to take them off the map completely, or softening them up enough to allow the snowball to basically run without a hitch. And aside from the first defense, they basically had nothing on the defending side.
And now to see if SUCC are going to be able to put up a decent time for themselves on offense. They are going to be running with the Go combo, just 3 tanks, 3 supports, just want to run in and make it as hard as possible for the defense really set up. See how it goes, and whether or not with the additional support in the lineup, Pocket might be able to survive a little bit longer. But we just have to wait and see, as they are just going to be able to rush all the way through to the high ground. Now the first engagement comes through. We do have Shifty trying to step forward with the Winston, trying to stall them out just a little bit longer. It is just trading back and forth of damage, with no one going down just yet. They are starting to make their way towards the point, as they are going to be able to get Meme. DDN is going to be able to finish them off, but the rest of the team, they are just cleaning up on the defense.
Sorry, the goats are, well, dead or benched, and they're coming close to it. Najarai will drop the Brigitte of Smooth Buns. Sorry, Miss Lindholm, your engineering is not quite up to scratch. That will force this entire composition back, and these staggers now from Shifty Risley and Wishler are only going to hurt this attack in the long run, and that frag was effectively erased by Zafi's resurrection. So Sneaker Snake back into the back into action. 2 minutes and 45 for the team of SUCC to get back into it. Duff Champion hasn't gotten his mech back yet, So they're gonna have to wait a little bit longer before that happens.
That is a really strong start with them cleaning up in the end. As they do also take down Duff Champion, who wasn't able to get back into the mech. But they do manage to pick off Sneaky Snake, who was a little bit overextended. May give them a little bit of room to make their way towards the point. The Mad Knight is already on there. The defense isn't there to help either. And it looks like Nadra is going to get caught out, but does get the Transcendence out in time. And here comes the Blade as well. Earth Shatter does get dropped, doesn't really get too much out of it. And Meme, Dreamboat, he's just going to slice his way through that offense.
Yeah, me and Whistler have just been such a dynamic duo. Playing classes that don't, or playing heroes, I should say, that don't really, like, complement one another in the sense that, like, you don't combo those two. But still, I mean, it's one or the other seeming to get most of the kills in any of these fights. It's just so impressive to see the two of them work. They just continue to shred. Shifty Risty's doing a great job as well, getting space, doing some damage and dynamic. These two tank players are great. As they dive right in, they force the barriers down, and that allows Wishla to pick out Pocket at the very beginning. They're gonna get behind the point right now, get the Ren Shield off of them, but now Shifty Risty's jumping in, knocking players around, giving 3 players these hands. That's right, they got these hands, and now they have killed the entire world. That should be another stunted push.
Shifty, Risty, Brawny, Strawny. See, I knew where you were going with that, and I basically cleaned it up for you. We're down to 1 hot minute. There is the Graviton Surge and the Self-Destruct on deck, as well as the Sound Barrier. So this could be the best chance for SUCC to actually get onto the point and mount an attack. But if one key gets taken out of the equation, Smooth Buzz is a big scalp for Wishler. So they're going to be playing down to person unless the Resurrect goes off. The Self-Destruct goes out up top, was not fruitful, forced everybody back onto the point, and the fight will slowly begin to simmer. It's going to come to a boil. Graviton does come out, Duff Champion gets ejected, then deleted. Matt Hardy would be proud of that one. There was only one Lucio left on the point. The Frog's trying to run, and he will actually succeed in going down, and Meme is actually taken off the table, so a big damage dealer taken off, but that's going to be all for naught. But there's only 10 seconds and a whole lot of death and destruction between you and the point.
Yeah, they don't have much time. They need to be able to run onto it just to secure overtime for themselves, but they're not able to. They delayed it for too long, and just like what we saw on the first map, where bottom 500s were trying to get that cohesive push towards the point to secure overtime, we had the exact same from the other team. SUCC just not getting there in time and already. But to be honest, the bottom 500s were so incredibly dominant on those second 2 maps. Even if the point was to be taken, point A was to be taken by SUCC, it was going to be a very hard ask for them to be able to grab point B. Because bottom 500, they just look like they were on another level when it came to those second 2 maps there, Dreamboat.
Yeah, I mean, the problem was really that, like, the 2 tanks, Shifty Risty, wow, I can't English, and Sneaky Snake just did such a good job of opening up space, dropping these barriers, forcing players to focus on them. Then that allowed Wishla to have wide open sight lines. Like, even the Rhine Shields were dropped just to try and swing the hammer around. The Diva damage matrix was dropped because it needed to actually attack what was in front of them, and that just allowed so much more damage to come in at a range. Then you couple that with Meme being up in their face doing a lot of damage, and it was just such a good work by that team as an entire unit, just functioning as an absolute unit, getting in, opening up space, dropping these barriers, forcing the sight lines, giving Wishla the space that he needed to succeed, setting up Meme to get that blade up so that he could succeed. It was just really just a systematically well-played setup.
That's what happens when there's a systematic unit, especially on the side of bottom 500. The defenses were basically impenetrable in their attacks. When they did get going, they got going with authority, and that's what happens when you have good components in a machine that will run flawlessly, and good luck trying to stop them. So bottom 500 will win this 3-map series 2-1, and I believe that will be... Is this our only broadcast? this evening, or do we have a second one lined up?
It's the only one we're doing, but there will be another game tonight in the 8:30 time slot. One will be on AOE 1, and I actually there might only be one on AOE 1. Maybe there's two. I haven't paid attention. All I know is there are more games tonight. There is one on AOE 1, and there is one on AOE 2. So you get double the games, double the streams, double the talent, and double the fun. Well, no, actually, we're a lot of fun, so probably not double the fun. Same amount of fun.
Oh, come on. Yeah, consistent amounts of fun. We can't have too much fun. Well, we can,
Well,
but
speaking of fun, Cyberwaste, you know what's fun?
it is
Picking
fun.
an MVP. And I feel like I don't even need to mention like 10 of the 12 players in the server, because I feel like we're going to have a consensus that it was probably between Wishla and Meme.
I saw this team in half!
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I
It
got.
was-
Be my MVP.
Yeah, it was either Meme just slicing through people left, right, and center, or it was Wishler just taking heads clean off consistently. It's really hard to look past them. I mean, the front line, as you were mentioning, did do a good job of securing a lot of space, and the supports were doing a good job of keeping the rest of the team alive. The Zenyatta player was actually doing an incredible job of staying alive and really negating some of those EMP engages. So I have to give a lot of credit to the whole team.
Really good work. And I also have to give Nadrai a huge shout out, Phoenix, before you get to your butt, because we had a lovely conversation in the pregame of that match. Just he's a good guy. I am now a Nadrai fan. He won me over. Yeah, and he, like you said, he did well on Zenyatta. But what was your butt? You had a butt coming.
There was a butt. Like the rest of the team did really well, but it's really hard to look past the very flashy kill feeds of just consistently just Genji all the way through, or massive kill feeds of just widows just cleaning heads. So it's really hard to look past them.
Yeah, it was either one or the other, to be honest. It was.
Can we do both? Are we allowed to do that?
We make the rules. I propose we can. We can.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can. I think we need to choose.
I'm the
it's
one that
more
gets the ship.
painful.
Ooh,
No, you're not.
Good point. Good point.
I am the literal boat, so I'm the one that leads this boat.
Oh. All right,
So
Kyrie,
I think we need to do it. I think we need to do it. So I want to hear Phoenix first.
Why am I always the first one? All right,
Fine. I want to hear Cyber. Okay, fine. You gave me Cyberwaste. Who do you think it was?
Oh, I call
Are you gonna
meme
just
as
be
MVP.
contrarian? All right.
It's funny you guys both went meme. I was genuinely going to go with Wishla, because while meme had the bigger plays, I felt like Wishla had the more consistent impact. And there's a couple of things that kind of won me over for Wishla as the MVP of that entire series. The first one was on Gibraltar, that entering onto the first point where he hit 6 or 7 headshots in a row and just completely annihilated the team. Like, that was something he was doing consistently, but he had the big play moments that Meme had as well. And on top of that, like, why they capped so quickly Horizon Lunar Colony Point B was because Wishla didn't let any player out of spawn. Like, he let maybe 1 or 2. They were cleaned up with ease. So while Meme, don't get me wrong, Meme was fantastic. Meme was, like, this was a hard choice. Wishla gets my vote. And our producer agrees with me on that one.
So we're entirely split, but to be honest, Reboot, I would say that you do have a very fair point in that he was the far more consistent member, although he was far more flashy, and his name can tie into so many things. It's great, but I'd say we leave it as a split desk and give them both MVP and just let it be done.
Twitch chat, you weigh in. You let us know while we go after we go away what it was
in the end.
Yeah, but you know what? We're also gonna get to in the end, Phoenix. You know, there are there's more matches tonight, but who cares about those? Well, I mean, I care about this, but you know what I mean. We got something else. That's right. Me, Cyberwaste, and Phoenix are all gonna be back tomorrow for Rise Up Invitational. So if you want some more exciting Overwatch action with these lovely Australians and the token Canadian. You can join us tomorrow, same space time, same space place on this channel. I'm looking forward to it because we got a couple really good matches on the table for that one. To be Exto and Twist versus Twisted Vision, and then Dignity versus Moth Black. Oh my.
Indeed, and lots of heavy hitters, lots of contenders, alumni, and heavy hitters for Open Division, and they've definitely been wanting to hone their craft and show their wares. They've done a very good job of that. And myself, Dreamboat, and Phoenix will be guiding you through that and hopefully telling a lot more amazing tales with a lot more amazing plays. And we hope that you join us tomorrow night. I think with that, are we going to sign off?
That we are. So I've been Dreamboat, flanked by Cyberwaste and GL Phoenix with Pinky MacGyver on production. And for all of us here at AAOL Esports for the Australian Amateur Overwatch League, have a great evening. Drive safe.